What was that announcement? What did they?
Well, I think everybody was thrilled to hear that they're not doing anything,
Yeah.
right? So we're not raising it. And if anything, the expectation is that they may be lowering it next year. And so since the very beginning, everybody complained that the Fed was slow to react. Like, wait, you let this inflation get way out of hand. It caught you by surprise. And then we started talking about this soft landing, like it was a unicorn to be caught in the forest somewhere.
Right.
And I mean, it really looks a little bit like they've managed it such that the economy as a whole might be in for a soft landing. And it's kind of like the average temperature in America. Okay, it's 70 degrees. That doesn't tell me what to wear in Austin, much less San Francisco.
Right.
So even though the economy as a whole did not go into recession, we know that there are parts of the real estate market that are absolutely in a recession. So we just have to acknowledge that not all parts are treated equally, but it could have been really bad.
For sure. And I think it was a breath of relief that people are either taking right now watching this or took as they heard the Fed make this announcement. Because what we've been really grasping at and not really understanding in the real estate industry is, why do we continually see mortgage rates going up? Our economy seems to be doing well. Like, Fed, tell us, help us. Why mortgage rates, right? Why is this happening to us? And so anything else that you gathered from what the Fed said and what we think next year might look like?
The things I was paying attention to, a lot of people are forecasting that they might actually have reductions. And I think that's very much,
It's great news.
They're Cheshire Cat up there. Like, they really do not want to be completely understood so that they can deny anything. They're trying not to be super predictive, but everybody's expecting them to drop it next year. If we go into the year and the economy continues to stay cool but not hot, if inflation keeps lowering, I think we're at 3.1% right now, year over year, which is way down from last year. I mean, honestly, the 2% target is kind of arbitrary. Came from a jingle when they were trying to fight inflation in the 70s in New Zealand.
Okay.
But it worked. And so everybody's like, well, 2% seems to be good, but the difference is not that much. I think if they see it start to spike up again, all bets are off.
Sure.
But it looks good right now. And that just makes everybody happy. Businesses love a predictable environment, even if it's predictably bad or predictably not great. They just want something they can predict. It looks like the next couple of quarters looks like things are heading in the right direction.
We love to hear that, of course. And
Right.
to your point, I saw that the Dow hit its highest high ever after the announcement. And we hope in the real estate industry that that's going to give us an indication of what's to come in mortgage rates, as you said, that if the Fed chooses to lower rates, then we might also see some reprieve in those mortgage rates, even though when you and I were talking, that they're not always tied 100% together, right?
No, I think Ruben, if you were here, would tell us it's a lot more to do with the 10-year treasuries. And, but they're generally considered connected in some way.
Sure.
And so maybe it's an emotional, like the stock market.
Right.
Like, there's no reason for the stock market to rally like it did, other than it's kind of a positive sentiment. And that's what they're looking for to finish the year.
Yeah.
So I think the next stop is, what does that mean for the economy?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're saying that this year's GDP growth is going to end up at about 2.5%. Anything above 2% is good. Like 4% or higher is kind of almost too hot, but it's certainly not dropping into negative territory, which was the fear.
Right.
You keep hiking up rates, raise the cost of money. Nobody wants to invest. People start to pull back. Everything costs more.
Right.
So it could have cratered the economy, but it's really resilient. I think unemployment's still at 3.7, which is low.
Very low.
So you've got this weird contradictory environment where they've been fighting inflation, which usually kind of puts out the fire. And what they've done is they just lowered the temperature, and it seems to be working for now.
That is such great news. So what I'm hearing you say, and what I've also learned from Ruben in our conversations, is it sounds like the Fed is feeling good. Why they're not choosing to raise rates again. That's their only hammer for the nail of inflation.
Yeah.
And things look positive. On that same note, the economy in general, as you said, it's kind of an average across the board. It looks positive.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be seeing some positive movement for real estate. If we think about those two things moving in the right direction, the hope is that that also means the real estate industry, mortgages and sales of homes should also be moving in a more positive direction than maybe what we've been experiencing the last 3 months.
I certainly hope so. When people have jobs, right? And they have confidence in the economy, and consumer sentiment actually finally went up a little bit. And they were saying it's because gas has stayed down. It's so tied not just to general inflation, but to the cost of food and gas, right? Those things that every single week you have to dive in and you're shocked or you're happy, one or the other. So consumer sentiment's getting better. And that generally tends to lead people towards more of a positive outlook on the real estate market. So on to mortgages.
Yeah.
Like we were laughing, like within 24 hours of them saying we're not going to continue to raise rates, and in fact, they may come down. What happened to mortgage applications?
Craziest thing, I saw an article that said mortgage rates, or mortgage applications rather, went up 19%. Just on the news, the Fed wasn't going to raise them. Mortgage applications rather went up 19%. Just on the news, the Fed wasn't going to raise them.
I'll reach out to them and said that. I'll reach out to them.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only one. I mean, it shouldn't be tough for him. I'll reach out to him.
It's gonna be interesting, because I was checking out. They just need a warm damn body. No, that's gonna be.
All right.
We get a spare minute during this.
Okay.
An opportunity. Can you have Dustin just briefly tell people what he's doing with this land clearing business?
Yeah, for sure. No problem. Got it. All right, let's see if I can like minimize this. All right. Hello. Happy 2024. I know. Very exciting. You guys brave the cold, and we have people in Zoom land and on Facebook Live. So we're going to have a really robust meeting today. And heading into 2024, we are extending our meeting time by a tad. So we may run until 12:30 for our meetings. And in order to give you guys as much value as we can, we're going to be doing agent highlights and having different agents featured each month. We're going to be having more vendors coming in and talking to you guys, and just making sure that you guys have the best resources in your hands. So get ready for a jam-packed meeting today. I think we start off with Mark King here.
Hello, Keller Williams, and welcome to a happy 2024. In fact, happy new year to all of you. I'm really excited about 2024 for many reasons, not the least of which is Family Reunion coming up in Las Vegas, February 25th through the 29th, where we will see the amazing Tony Robbins, the amazing Mel Robbins, the amazing Gary Keller, and a whole lot of other amazing speakers. I can't wait to see you there. Secondly, this is the year of AI integration and command. Super excited about what that means for our business. And thirdly, there's a rumor out there that interest rates might fall just a little bit for mortgages. And so that's all good news for our business. Wishing you an amazing 2024. Have a great day. Hello, Keller Williams, and welcome to a happy 2024. In fact, happy.
All right, so just a reminder of our mission at KW to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. So, and our key beliefs on how we should be operating every day, personally, professionally, win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing, customers always come first, commitment in all things, communication, seek first to understand, creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more, trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. So when this is operating within your business on a daily basis, you guys should be winning. We have January birthdays. We have quite a few here. So we have Jake, Kevin, Jerry, Sheila, Don, Sakra, Kim, Audrey, Robin, Katie, Nathan, Willie, Sam, Paul, Suzette, and Martha all have birthdays in January. So happy birthday. And we have work anniversaries. So we have Jen, Angela, Kirsten, Jake, Faith, Lisa, Laura, Stephanie, Farron, Elena, Todd, Rochelle, Rebecca, Lisa, Sam, and John, all celebrating anniversary here at KW Living. And we have a few newcomers. So in December, we had Jordan, Tom, and Jim all join us. And so if you see them around, you see them online, make sure to give them a shout out and help them any way you can.
Is Jordan?
Man.
Whoops. Got ahead of myself again. This is running like really slow. All right, so we have MCA updates.
Yeah. I just want to let everybody know, I have 1099s ready to go out. I've handed them to most of you guys in the room. But if you don't have it, if you want to just come by, you can pick it up or mail it. If you don't come by, I'll mail it to you. And you will be getting an email from me with the deduction. So all the office fees you paid over the year and your deductions of your processing fees, those are all right. You can write those off. So I'm going to send those to you in an email because I think a lot of agents forget that, and I just want to make sure you guys get as much benefit for your taxes as soon as possible. So that's it.
And just a few other things to note within the MCA office is you're going to want to send any of your current updated headshots to Angelina. So when we do all of our social posts, when we put you up on the big screen here, we want to make sure we have your most recent photo. So make sure that if you have taken a recent headshot, that you send that over to Agent Services email. We have, starting February 10th, all agent fees are going to be adjusted to $85 a month. So starting that billing period, that's what they will be adjusted to. There will no longer be an additional processing fee for making payments via credit card or debit card. So that there won't be that separate $4 fee.
Everything WRI raise also.
And then we have the KWL Agent Hub, which Angelina has taken and really enhanced. This is your go-to space for everything KW Living, even KWRI related. This is where you guys are going to want to get in the habit of going to daily, weekly. Man, what was the, where's that training calendar? How do I order, where's a link for business cards? So many things going on right here. So we have a finance link. It has, you can update your credit card information, your direct deposit information. It tells you how to submit for compliance, the W-9 form before closing. All of these lovely things are here at your disposal from the click of a button on your phone or computer at home even. Can't remember how to get a hold of our broker. Here is the information as far as if you guys are having an issue, you have a legal contract question, something comes up, shoot Erin an email at broker@kwliving149.com. Down here is going to be all those wonderful links to LCAR, RealComp, Flex, GMAR. Here's statistics that you guys can go and click on and look up. So going to want to make sure that you guys really are getting in here using this frequently.
And we get it if we go to KW, right?
KWLagents.com is the website. So KWLagents.com. Under tech, you're able to explore smart plans. Can't figure out opportunities. There's tips with this, command. Agent services. Need to know that phone number or email for a fellow agent in the office. There's your office directory. Our Google training calendar, if you click here, you're able to go ahead and just pull that right up. If it loads, let's see. You can see what's going on within the training calendar. Let me see if I can. You have compliance checklists that are coming soon, class recordings. Angelina is starting to upload videos onto YouTube, and that way you guys are able to access and see those. So Bill just did a CMA and marketing trends class that's now available on our website. You guys are able to watch that. So we're going to try and add as many videos and information into that as possible. But if you guys missed that class, you can go ahead, click in here and start watching. Get this. It's like, yeah. Let's see what else is under here. Class recordings, family reunion, register for Zoom classes. So if you want to see and take the classes via Zoom, all these lovely things are under there. Leadership information. We will eventually have all the documents. We are in the process of updating forms and all our documents. So we'll have all the documents online for you guys as well. And then via the home site, if you guys are looking to schedule a conference room, you can do it right here. So you guys can go ahead. You're like, oh, I have a closing. I want to see if there's an availability in room 1. I only need it for an hour. Here's all the times that are available. You can say, okay, yep, I can do 11 a.m. closing in room 1 this coming Friday. So we're trying to make things super seamless for you guys. You guys have instant, easy accessibility so that when you guys are with clients, you're talking with your title people like, man, is there a closing room open? You guys can find that. So the Howell office is also on there. And so if you guys want to book something through that, what we do ask is, if you guys are planning to hold an event, you're having a client appreciation something, especially at the Howell office, or you are planning to use this training room because you're hosting a buyer seminar, you guys do need to check with the booking room section first. And you also need to contact us whether that's MJ up front or the MCA office. We do have cleaning crews that come through. We also want to get to a point where we're making sure that you guys aren't double booking the space, right? Someone's like, hey, I'm gonna hold a fires class tonight, and then someone else also thinks that, you know, they're gonna meet for a listing appointment at the Howell office. 2 people show up at the same time. That's no good. So we just want to make sure that you guys have the spaces available that you need, and then we know what's going on. So this will be a great tool in order to do that. So let me sneak on through here. So lots of things with this website. Again, it's kwlagents.com. You can access all of this from your phone, from your computers, all that good stuff. So
Will the continue to put documents in command?
yes, yep. So once as documents are updated, they will put those up into command as well. But just as far as, you know, if you wanted a different resource to download it via PDF, eventually we'll have those files available. Yeah, it should be good. You guys, the more you start using it and getting used to it, the easier and easier it'll become as far as just having that as your go-to. As far as December, we had a profit share of $2,583 given back to the agents, which is amazing. And then I just wanted to go through 2023 and what our numbers were last year. So for the year, we closed 1,086 units. Average sales price was $318,000. We at KW Living had 7.9% of the market share. We're up there. We're really high up there. But that gives you any perspective as far as how much market share is left that you guys can claim. If we only have 7.9, there's a lot of room out there for you guys to take some more clients and some more deals. Average day on market was 36 for the year. As far as sold to original list price on the listing side, it was 97.7%. And an average sold price for listings from this office of $356,000. And then for the buy side, you guys sold to original list price, got your clients 97.4% of price, and an average of $343,000 on the buy side. As far as showings for 2023, you guys did 10,502 showings. And a total profit share of $104,584 was given back to the agents. So just wanted to give those awesome numbers for 2023, and hopefully, or I know 2024 will be even better. So as far as transaction coordination, also on the website, you'll find a My Living Ops link. That's where you can find Audrey's information and transaction coordinating. If you need help on the buy side, the list side, she's able to do either of those for you. You can reach out to her, find out what the fees, what all the processes are. She is helping wrap up additional signatures and things like that. That was missing. Shouldn't be missing, but sometimes happen. So you guys can go ahead and go on the website, check out that information. She is taking on additional agents. So if you guys need help with transaction coordination, she's your girl. So for December, we closed 65 units total for 28 million. And there was 337 showings in December. So just wanted to give those December updates for you. We have our new ALC for 2024. Lisa, Bill, Farron, Scott, and Megan are our core 5 that are going to be rocking and rolling this year and already are off to a great start. So during our retreat with the ALC is when we came up with that 201 series that we're hosting on Thursdays. So that higher level class where we're diving deeper for producing agents who want to continue excelling and getting to that next level. So we'll be having top 20% agents teaching those classes on Thursday, and that was part of the ALC's brainstorming during our retreat and already up and running. So give up. Cheers to them. It's ALC is Associate Leadership Council, Agent Leadership Council. They are here. We are a company that's run by agents for agents. And so they are your voice in the room as far as with leadership. Things that they talk about and vote on are often taken to the national level. At KWRI listens to what they're saying locally. And so, you know, that they are key parts of this market center. And, you know, if you see them, if you have questions, if you have suggestions, they have an open door for you guys. They're here to represent you guys. We have our KW Living Awards Night. That is going to be the evening of March 13th at the South Lion Hotel. We'll have more details in an RSVP send out to come. So mark your calendars for that. It's going to be the evening of Wednesday, March 13th at the South Lion Hotel. We already went over the website. Speaking of the calendar, just wanted to give a sneak peek. So again, we have contracts with the broker is going to be moved to Mondays. So you're going to watch for that on Mondays. On Wednesdays is when we have tech with our tech trainer, Esteban. So that's going to be happening 11 to 12 on Wednesdays this year. Thursdays, we have our 201 series from noon to 1:30 every single Thursday. So it's going to go in a specific order. The first Thursday of every month is going to be all about lead gen. The second Thursday is going to be about CMAs, market trends. Third Thursday is going to be about listings, and fourth Thursday is going to be about buyers. And if there's ever a fifth Monday, there's not going to be a class because it's a holiday or falls on a holiday week. So it really worked out well. But watch for the posts in Facebook, the weekly newsletter to see who's coming in and talking. We are really going to have a variety of people up here in the way they run their business. Some people are super sphere-based. Some people, you know, jump on phone calls, and that's how they get their deals done. Everyone handles their clientele and their business a little bit different. So for you guys to be able to hear from all of these different agents and how they're winning, I think is really key. Yeah. February. So this Thursday, we have Kirsten. She's going to be talking about listings, how she wins her listings. In 2023, she did $9.5 million and closed 30 units. So definitely want to come in and take a listen to that. Again, you can go on the website and register for it via Zoom if you can't be in here that day. But definitely something you're going to want to check out. We have buyers with Farron on January 25th. We have Mark Warren talking about lead gen on February 1st. We have Robin Love talking about buyers on February 22nd. So as we have hosts joining in, I'll update you guys on who those are. But these are some amazing agents who have decades of experience and sell a lot. So you're gonna want to check that out. We have career nights coming up. There's going to be 2 virtual career nights. One is going to be Monday, January 22nd. The other one's going to be Tuesday, February 13th. And then an in-person one on Wednesday, January 31st. So I have Eventbrite. We'll send those out. Angelina will send those out with the email newsletter. And so if you guys have anyone that you've been talking to who are thinking about a career in real estate, you have a family member, a spouse, a friend, you're going to want to point them in this direction. And the benefit is that hopefully you can grow your downline and get your profit share going. We do have a class in which we sponsor, and agents are able to take the Michigan Real Estate Pre-Licensing course for free. And so that is something that we'll go over during career nights too, or at any time myself or Angelina can answer questions about that if you have someone who wants to get started right now. All right, let's go through our December awards. We have Mike Luce who caps, so that is amazing. Awesome on capping, Mike. We have our top listing agents. So we have Mandy, Katie, and Heather all had 2 new listings in December. So congrats. We had the Mahone Homes Group get 5 new listings. So congrats to them for being the top group for top closed units. Suzette, Judy, and Amanda. So they each had 2 in December. Congrats to them. And our teams, we have Grateful Day and Crow's Nest, close 2 as well. And closed units for the group, we had Ben Warren close 14 units in December. So congrats to them. Top closed volume, Suzette, 610,000. Congrats, Suzette. Team, Grateful Day. Congrats to them with 630 closed. Top closed volume for our group, we have our KW commercial crew. Closed $8,101,966. So congratulations to our KW commercial team. Yeah. It's okay, just take the credit. You did the 8 million in business. You did it. So like. So he wasn't honored or like given the due throughout the year. The numbers weren't added into his totals. So.
But what an amazing first year at KW.
Right? All right, so point report is up. Guess where you guys can find the point report? On our website. So if you guys are curious at what this looks like, you guys can go ahead to the website. December's column is there, so you can see where you fall, who did the best of the best during December, and then there's also a column for year to date.
Can I add to the very bottom of the point report? I looked the other day and we got it in. We closed $345 million in value this year. Even though it was a tough year, it was still our third best year of closed value ever in our history. So kudos to you guys. Like we sold just under 2019's units count number, but third best year in sold value. So there's a lot of money that was made this year.
Yeah, very good. So these are our top 20 from the point report. I will have this up on social media, but congrats to these amazing top 20. Trevor, Brig, Robin, Bill, Jim, Noah, Cassie, Todd, Lisa, Katie, Dan, Rick and Beth, Aaron, Suzette, John, Judy, Amanda, Mike, Jarvis, Bill, and Kirsten. All were top 20 for December. So congrats to them. And that was a lot for me. We're gonna have Esteban come on up and he's gonna give you guys some updates here from the tech world.
Is your Flex logged in?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
All right, perfect.
Yep.
So how many of us switched over to Flex? About half. It's a lot of change and change is hard. I remember when I was a freshman in high school, I was like 5 foot tall and I was a basketball player, so that's not very good to be 5 foot tall. And I kept having this knee pain and it was like right here, it's called Hodgkin's ladder. So when your bones grow really fast, because I shot out 8 or 9 inches, it causes a lot of pain because it's carrying a lot of weight. So the moral of the story is with all this change, there comes good to it, but we have to go through this part, which, you know, I'm getting a lot of like, hey, this is hard or this is that. Angelina loved that story, but it's just, we got to play with it. We got to learn, ask questions. And one of the main things that we can do is we can customize our dashboard. So on RealComp, we used to have like our listings for Livingston County or Ingham County for myself. So here we just have to go to customize and we add our own dashboard. So we would just name it, let's say, Esteban's dashboard. So we create it here and then we can start going through and just picking the things that we want. So if we want to add our listings, if we want to add like our saved buyers, sellers, whatever it is. So we go through, I'm going to add this gadget and then I'm going to go through here. And let's say I want to add some market statistics. So I want to add inventory. I want to add my prices, sold, volume. So I'm going to go here and it's going to pull up this dashboard. So instead of us going through and when we get to our Flex, it's just a generic because it's pulling GLAR It's pulling Michigan real estate. It's pulling like 5 MLSs, so it's not too accurate. We can go through, we created our own custom dashboard. You click on home and then go to your personal dashboard, and it's going to pull up the data that you want. So once you get there, you can change your layout to look however you want it to look. And the best one so far is when there's 3 sections. So part of these 3 sections, you can slide over like inventory, like Bill's probably going to have all the market data that you can have on here. So you can organize this how you want. And then one step that you have to do is you have to click the 3 dots because it's still pulling all the generic MLS information. So if I work in Ingham County, I'm going to go to settings, and for location, we have to type in what we're looking for. Are we looking for Ingham School District? Are we looking for Ingham County, Livingston County? Once we're done with that, we would just double click that and then save it. And then now it's pulling up all the data for Ingham County. So you go through anything, like you can change your listings, you can change your prices, your volume, and you can customize by like Ingham County. If you want to do like myself, Ingham County and Livingston County, you would add another gadget and then just have Ingham County on the left side and then Livingston County on the right side. So that's pretty much it, just playing with it. And if you have any questions, let me know. Has anybody inputted a listing yet? One person? Okay. So when you go to input the listing, feel free to grab me, but it's going to toggle you through like left to right. So you start with the details, the address, and then it's going to ask for photos. So I sat there for like 15, 20 minutes uploading all 45 photos one at a time. But with Flex, it only wants 1 photo. So it wants your primary photo. And then once you save it as incomplete, you can drop a bigger file because it wouldn't take all my 45 pictures. It was just replacing the primary photo. So one little quick tip, but yeah, just reach out if you guys have questions about anything. Okay.
Question.
What's that?
You have several dashboards that you want to specifically have on this type of report?
Yep. So right now we're on Esteban's dashboard. If you wanted to create a dashboard, we would just go to add. So we're going to add a new one. And this one is going to be, let's say, Livingston County. So now we're creating a new one for Livingston County, and we're only going to statistics, and then we're going to add all these gadgets on there. So then we go back. So now it's going to show us the absorption rate, prices, volume. You have to click on the 3 dots again and select and pick your county. So Livingston, Ingham, whatever it is. And then when you log in the morning, instead of having the generic 5 MLSs, you can click this drop down arrow, and then you can pick, do you just want to pull your quick Livingston County stats? Do you want to pull your main dashboard? You could have 2 dashboards, like Livingston County and Shiawassee County stats. And then once you do it one time, it's already saved. So a little bit front loaded, but once it's done, it's there.
So if you wanted to go in every day and look at all the new listings in Livingston County,
Yep.
you would create a dashboard for Livingston County.
Yep. So just like that, you would just go here, and then you could have like a hot sheet. So your hot sheet's going to pull up the active, pending, sold, Livingston County. You have to change the settings to Livingston County only, and then it would just pull up right here next to your chart. So it'd be all your numbers, your listings coming up, whatever just sold. It's all going to be right there.
If we just put them in Flex and put them in row count, will it show up as twice then?
I imagine so.
That has screwed me up with the Ann Arbor, because people do that with Ann Arbor, and then you do a comp and you use the same one, you don't realize that all of a sudden your chart's way off because it adds the 2 together. You know?
Yeah, I would imagine so, because I think Katie has both. And anytime you look at one of her listings, if you look up that same address, it's going to pull 2 different listings. So if you add them on both, it's going to generate 2 different listings.
I also have it that I did a multi-family listing a couple months ago, and Flex is telling everybody it's available, and I sold it 4 months ago.
Oh, really?
So I have agents calling me, hey, I want to come see that. I sold that 4 months ago. So I don't know where Flex is getting all the information.
Yeah, it'll be an adjustment. And I think Judy was saying that Flex only goes back about 3 years. Was that right, Judy? About 3 years? So So if you're trying to look up a listing, and CMAs is something I'll touch on in 2 weeks, I'll do a class on Wednesday. But if you're trying to look at a listing from 4 years ago, it might not pop up. She had some that did pop up. I was able to find the house that we just bought last year, but not one from 5 years ago. So the data is still like trying to migrate. And then one quick thing too, like we have this quick toolbar up here. So if you want to, realist is pretty much public record. So before on RealComp, it was called public record. Now it's called realist tax info. So it's the same stuff. But if you want to add items to here, you would hit your menu bar and then just hover over whatever it is that you're trying to have as a favorite, and then just hit a star. So now it added, if she wants to add a quick listing, it's already going to be up there. That way she doesn't have to pop open one more page. So there's a lot. I mean, I'm still learning, as you guys are too, but just feel free to reach out and we'll struggle together. So, thank you.
And a shout out to Judy for filling us in as she's been going through and figuring things out on Facebook and social media. So I see you and all of the comments and posts and you jumping in there, and we appreciate it. All hands on deck. All right, let's keep chugging through here. All right, Dominic, we have you. You got anything? Did you want to go ahead and introduce Julie here? All right.
All right, guys, this is something I'm really excited about that we talked about with the new ALC. We've had a lot of questions asking about, can we learn how some of our other agents are doing business and becoming so successful? So we wanted to do at every team meeting a top agent spotlight, so we can ask them a few questions about their business and how they're doing it, because we are a company of sharing, and I think that every one of us are always willing to help the other ones come up. And Julie, you were first on the list. Everybody wants to know how you're doing business, so if you please come up. You are in the hot seat.
Oh, boy. My favorite thing to do.
So just a little bit of background. When I was recruiting Julie to come over, thanks to Scott's referral, Julie brought Scott. We started talking a while back, and first thing that Julie came in and sat down, she goes, I'm a full-time mom that just happens to sell a good amount of real estate, right? And I love that. With our culture, it just works, and you've always been successful from the time that I've known you. And we just want to know how. So how long have you been in the business?
I've been in the business for 14 years come March. Prior to that, my husband and I were approved candidates to become State Farm agents, and I was working for a State Farm agent at the time. And Kendi, my oldest, was like a year and a half. Things got complicated with work, and again, my priority has always been my children, and at that point I only had one, and I decided to stay home with her. And then my personality was like, I can't stay home. And then my husband's like, why don't you get into real estate? I'm like, sure. So I got my license when I was pregnant with my middle daughter, Reese.
Awesome. Yep. When you got into the business, brand new into the business, what did you do to start finding business?
So again, I was 7 months pregnant, so I wasn't really die hard going into looking for business and cold calling or putting myself out there. I did a lot of floor time only because I was there already. And again, I had a 2.5-year-old at home, so I wasn't fully committed into real estate. It was just one of those things that I never anticipated 14 years later I'd be sitting here and be considered a successful realtor. So it just was one of those things where building relationships, letting people know what you do, reaching out to your family, and then basically if you do a good job with a client and you are sincere and you follow up with them and you keep that relationship, it's a snowball effect.
Awesome. So like back then, you did you go through and call your sphere of influence?
I did. Yeah. And again, Facebook, I don't even think was something that was an option. I did a lot of handwritten notes to people I knew. And I'm very lucky that I'm from this area. I've been in Brighton Township since '92. I have a good group of family and friends, so it wasn't like I was in an unfamiliar territory. And then you all know once you start doing it, it's just something that you love doing it. And when you express your passion and your sincerity, it just brings other people to you.
And then moving forward into, growing your business. What did you do to start earning business later on? Like after the kids were grown a little bit?
To be honest with you, I don't really even know. Like my kids came with me to things. I had my little assistant and I was at a closing table 4 days after delivering a child. I was taking, calls from an inspector after I had just had a baby. So it wasn't like I had a plan, which I think, looking back, again, I didn't start with KW. If I did, I think I would be more successful, just because, you don't know what you don't know. And where I was a good fit at the time. But what KW offers their agents is really outstanding. How I grew my business was just consistency. I've always been a solo agent. Prior, like when I started, there wasn't, where I came from didn't have a lot of teams. So I didn't have the support that our agents here have. So I basically sank or swam and kind of figured things out on my own. And again, it's just consistency, it's sincerity, it's following up. It's, how many people said, you're the first realtor to return my call? I'm like, do they not want to make money? Like, aren't you supposed to return calls when people call you? So it's just the basics that kind of establish your foundation.
Do you in some way, maybe realizing it or not, systematically keep in touch with your database?
I do. Like I am old school. I do, 3 flyers, magnets a year. Lately, probably the past few years, and probably from learning through KW, I've been connecting it with the MOFers. And again, I don't really put myself out there to be like, one, I hate talking about myself, so this is not where I feel comfortable, but it's more giving gratitude. So like my most recent one, it was just sending a QR code, giving gratitude gift cards. And it's my way of just saying thank you to my people and being sincere. And, I was talking to Jeremy, my husband, about it, and I'm like, there's only been X amount, like I sent out 450 and in my Google form, there's only this many. And he's like, is it worth, your additional expense? And then at that point, I'm like, it is if I do something about it. So then at that point, like I took the people who who are my closest clients, who are my good referral source, who I've done business with in the past, 5+ years, and text them directly and just said, hey, I don't know if you recognize the flyer that you received, but I appreciate you and the business and the trust that you provide for me, and I want you to have an opportunity to be a part of this gratitude giveaway. So it's just, again, systematically, not really, but just it's more of a natural, just reaching out, and I definitely can do better, but right now it's trying to be consistent. Yeah. How much
Is the gift card that you give?
So I did 3 $100 gratitude giveaways. So $300 additional cost. And I did a QR code on a Google form, and it was just simple questions, basically just, again, who they are, how long they live at the house, if they're looking at buying or investing or selling. And then, again, I put it more of, my word or phrase for 2024 is to be present. So I asked them what there was. So then it was like happiness and family and, generosity and things like that. So it's, again, just being sincere about it, not just being like, are you going to sell your house? And then also I just said, if you're in need of somebody to service your home, do you have somebody you can rely on to contact for a painter, and list a few. So then they remember like, hey, Julie has an interior designer for me. Julie has a painter for me. So it's just kind of my way of reminding them that I'm here.
You're a resource.
Yeah.
For all things real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that kind of answers also how you maintain strong relationships. I mean, they're simple, subtle touches, reminding people that you're a resource for all real estate needs. And that's how they never call that. So when you take listings, how do you effectively, or what do you do to market them strategically or anything special?
Yeah. Well, the past few years, we really haven't had to do much, but your buyers are obviously always looking. So to me, it's, again, establishing the trust with my client that they know that I'm looking after their best interests. Always talking to them about price because that's really the format of what is going to sell or not. Being sincere and honest. I always tell my clients, I'm not going to tell you something just so because that's what you want to hear, or because somebody else is going to tell you a higher price and you may believe them. So basically, everything I do is, sincere and trustworthy. But for marketing, it's like you have to make your first impression count. I say that with myself, like I won't go on a listing in jeans and t-shirts, and I won't show houses unless I'm dressed. And it probably means nothing to them, but it's just how I represent myself. And same with my listings. I'm going to list it where there's valuable pictures, valuable information. I'm notorious of having typos, and I'll call myself out on it. But it's just, making the first impression count. I also am, I have a house coming up in White Lake, which I'll tell you all about. But I've done business with several people in that area. So I'm going to reach out to those agents who I've had good rapport with. That's another thing. Like, I'm not here to burn bridges. I'm not here to make best friends either, but I'm here to be recognized in our industry as being respectful. And with that, then when I'm putting an offer on a listing or have a buyer agent coming, if they know me and they, have worked with me, I hope that they know that I'm somebody who's going to get the job done, but also not be pushed around. So it's not just one thing to market a house, it's the whole consistency of, making sure it's represented well, both yourself and the house.
Great point. Building relationships with these other agents so that they know, like, and trust you and know that you're professional when you do a transaction with them also helps your buyers get the houses that they want when you're working with them, right? It goes back to, at the very beginning, talking about our mission, vision, and values, making it a win-win also, and being kind on your transactions will help you get other deals done, even when you're in multiple offer situations. And it doesn't always mean the highest price.
Yeah, I had a listing in Pine Creek this past year, and I had been working with them for a while, and really, I think it was just a cold call opportunity. And I almost didn't get the listing because they said that they thought that I was too nice and that I wouldn't be able to stand up for their value or negotiate. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm thankful that they told me that, because then I could defend myself. And then when it closed, they, circled back around. So again, just because you're nice doesn't mean you're not a strong realtor.
So in what ways do you stay ahead of the market trends and changes in the real estate industry?
I think I'm super good at this, but that's going to be something I work on in 2024. It's really just the training. Like I said, KW has so much to offer, and I have not utilized it in the past few years, probably because of life and how busy the industry was, but taking advantage of the training that we offer is going to be a huge value. And again, like we've heard, it's now turning into a skill market, not a,
Not a luck market. And every agent does their business a little bit differently. They track things a little bit differently. They track their database a little bit differently. What technology do you use to keep in touch with your database and to continue growing your business?
Command is so valuable. Again, being a solo agent, I don't have somebody telling me what to do or doing my technology for me. So it's important that I have systems that work for me. I think in this industry, there's so many, flashing lights and, oh, this person's doing that and super successful. That person's doing that. It's like, simplify what works for you. And as long as it works for you and you're consistent, then that's where it's going to be most valuable to you, because there's a million different ways of doing things, and fit the one that you're going to commit to and that you're consistent with and it matches your personality.
And how do you protect your personal time? I know your family is the most important thing.
Well, when I got into the industry and started doing well, I had a realtor who said to me, as she saw me going faster, is basically slow down. Don't ever let real estate become more important than your personal relationships. And it is huge, because you all know Your phones don't turn off, you don't have business hours, your weekends can be consumed. And I've always kept that true to me. I talk to my girls about what I do. It's fun because our high school offers a real estate and insurance class. So Penny's taking her prereq to get into that class. I'm like, your dad does insurance and I do real estate, so it's important that you know what we do. So I think it's, not isolating your business from your family, bringing your family into your business. So when you can't be at a basketball game, your, spouse isn't upset because he has to do all the carpooling, or your kids aren't upset because you're not there. It's, the communication, and communication is the, foundation of everything, and just setting the expectations. And when you are home, turn the phone off, read with your kids, play dice games, again, know how to shut off, because when everything's said and done, your kids are going to be out of the house before you know it. And your clients aren't going to be, watching a movie with you at night. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
And a couple more, and then we'll open it up for questions. What are your long-term goals and vision for your real estate business?
So I do love being a solo agent. I most likely will always be a solo agent. But as my kids get less demanding on me, I may want to mentor solo agents. I think that the teams do an incredible job preparing their team and bringing them in. But there are people who just fit well as solo agents. I love being able to market the way that I do. I like being able to do, I do a scholarship for seniors for gratitude. It's nice because I'm a solo agent, I can do what I want. So maybe down the road, mentor solo agents, and maybe bring one or two on to help leverage my time more, where then I can be doing different things.
Awesome.
Yeah. We'll see.
This is a tough one. So if you had to move far away to a different state, start over today, rebuild your business starting from scratch, how would you do it?
I would not be doing videos on social media, even though I know you should, but I hate videos. If anybody's seen them, they know how horrible I am with them. But I would jump into the community. I love community. I love community here. Again, I've been in Brighton Township forever, and I've done things in Heartland to be a part of the community there. And I think once you, and again, it's just being involved with something that you believe in, and building those relationships and building that trust. And then wherever you go, if that's what you're doing, it's going to snowball.
Awesome. What questions do you guys have for Julie?
Markets from your sphere, I know it's
I've had a few neighborhoods that I've been successful farming, and then just there's been no turnover with them, so it's hard to gauge. I still market to them, but again, I'm very much connected to Heartland and Brighton Township, so it's, I do postcards that do our events for the school, and I'm featuring elementary artwork, so it's my way of just staying involved in the community. My business pretty much is 98% referrals or repeat business. The farming that I do, it's just to stay consistent with the community that I'm involved with. But I can't say that I have, the neighborhoods that I've done farming in, I've pretty much 90% of the business in there. And then there's other neighborhoods that I farmed in that I've done like once. So I started this year to do a networking group. So again, our market's changing. We're not, as aggressive as we were in 2020. So it's trying to, again, find other ways to market than just relying on my sphere and other.
Do you have any other touch plans, like via email, to go through your database? And if so, how many times do they get touched?
I don't have anything systematic in my emails. Again, I do quarterly events. I do my 3 mailers, the few areas that I farm. I'll do random information. If I am like on my solds, I'll send it out. And again, a lot of times it's hitting the same places that are hitting my calendar events, my gratitude giveaways, things like those. So it's the consistency. I met a painter at Milford Memories, and she paints on slates. So I do, you know, welcome to the Smiths. And we'll write a handwritten note on that. Or like, I had a client who I'd been working with for like 3 years. They finally closed, and now they're the White Lake house that I was listing. So I went on Etsy and I did like their latitude, longitude, and put their name and then the year. So trying to do something personal. So again, if they see something hanging and they're like, oh, I really give that to me. And I've, you know, sold houses that my clients have bought and they're the slates hanging in there.
The slate hangs. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not a big expense.
No, but it's a conversation piece. It's a memorable item.
Yeah.
They'll have. Is your name on the longitude and latitude?
No.
Okay.
Cool. The slate I'll write on it. The big sign I did, it was canvas, so I just.
Well, and you can always do it on the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else?
Oh, anything that has lots of chocolate, not chocolate base, but a good old mint with like chocolate with cookie. So, yeah.
At what year feel like what year was it? Like, I feel like I got a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, again, I started with Coldwell Banker. Kirsten Scopacasa was always #1, and like I never thought that I would be chasing her. But then when I got to that point that I'm like, oh, I must be doing something right. So again, I don't even, you know, I don't put myself in the category of, you know, a top producing agent. I would say it would take at least probably within 5 years. But again, I didn't have the resources of KWL.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. I know that it's
Thanks.
a little bit out of your
Yeah,
comfort
no,
zone, but
I sometimes it's good to do uncomfortable things.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much, Julie. All right, so next up, we have our friends from USA Mortgage. And yeah, yeah.
Danielle, why don't you come up?
It wasn't a video, it's just a slide.
PowerPoint.
Okay, all right.
So I just push.
Yeah, you can just, yep, click every time you wanna.
I'm Victor Bales, USA Mortgage. This is Danielle Boot. Her and I are partners in, I don't want to say crime, but in mortgages here. So, but anyway, what we're going to kind of go over today is,
I think it might be. Oh no, maybe it is this one. All right.
anyway, oh, so now,
Oh, sorry. Somebody got
That should be.
yeah, it's a Mac. I'm still a little too old. I got a Mac, but I got to cheat a little bit. But anyway, 2022, at the end of 2022, and then the whole 2023, boy, am I glad that's behind us. That was a tough year. That was my toughest year, actually, since 2011. And the real estate market, it was kind of the toughest year since 1998 for home sales. And as we look at, you know, what is on the minds of us agents and us lenders, because we live in the same world, as low inventory, higher prices, mutual releases, inspections, smooth closings. Even the smooth ones seem a little tough sometimes. Higher interest rates, fear of buying, fears of selling, competition, and fears of surviving. You know, you and I have been doing this forever, but yet I still wake up and I have that confidence problem. When's the phone gonna ring? Man, it's still tough. And I've been doing this for so long, and you and I both, we do this more because we don't have, more because we want to, not because we have to. Because, you know, per Julie, we've been doing it so long, we have that database that even in a tough year, we have a very respectable year. You know, but yet we still wake up and have that fear, that phone fright, that fear of that confidence. When's the phone going to ring? You know, we all hate on the weekends when our phone rings, but when it doesn't, we hate that too. It's kind of funny here. But on the minds of our buyers, we also have high inflation, student loans now in repayment, dwindling savings, more credit card debt than ever, higher interest rates, fear of buying, fear of selling, competition, fear of surviving, and of course the oil prices, the politics, and the war, all playing on these minds here. So now how do I? Is there a next button? Okay, so how 2023 finished? Okay, and we pulled our office, and we just took all the loans we closed here in Livingston County. Average loan size was 263, 349. Average purchase price 311, kind of coincides with your data. Average credit score 729 out there. Very interesting. Average down payment 14.7%. That was a much higher than I thought. Conventional 78%. FHA 15%. VA 4.5%. And my God, rural development was only 1.4%. How underutilized rural development is. It is one of the best programs out there. You know, I think it's great, just like VA. So anyway, I thought there was some interesting statistics here. But we want to talk about continuing education. Danielle and I have been doing this for such a long time. And I think we bring a lot of value to you guys to help you guys have better conversations with your buyers, with your sellers. And we just kind of want to go over some of that what we have. Danielle, you want to kind of go over our Con Ed courses, what we have here?
Absolutely. So we have a catalog of Con Ed. We present it here. We also present it in our township and on Zoom occasionally. We have buy, sell, buy. If you're going after listings, it's really important to focus on that early, because if your seller can't figure out how to buy, what are they not going to do? They're not on the list. Okay, so that's a great class. Cash to close. You know, big question, not that you need to do our job as a loan officer, but we want to give you enough tools so that you are armed and dangerous.
Yep, when they hit you on that weekend and say, hey, what do you think about cash to closes? We want you to be able to calculate this within about a minute. Okay.
Home Loans 101. This is great for new agents. It's also a great refresher for the even more experienced agents, because something's always changing in the mortgage world. Smoother transactions. You know, again, how do you arm your tool belt to get your deals to the table smoother?
You know, and now that we have transaction coordinators of any of you who utilize them, it does help us, because it's the lender package that you give to the lender, which makes a big difference. It can shave 1, 2, 3 days off the contract. Do you realize how many agents don't even put their license number on the purchase contract, or their email, or their phone number? We have to track that stuff down, because we have to pull Lara. And what is Lara? That's the website we got to go to check that you're not on any blacklist. And we got to input all that information. But so many purchase agreements come in, missing signatures, missing seller signatures, buyer signatures, agent information. Next class we have is the VA Complete 1 hour. Tell them about that.
Well, obviously, you know, we are lucky to have Eric Ensley on our team. He is the top VA loan officer in the state of Michigan. So he brings a lot of value in helping you understand the program so you can explain it to your sellers and to the benefit of your buyers.
Then we have the art of the buy downs. Who's using buy downs? Anybody? Okay, there's a couple hands. I got a couple in the pipeline right now. Excellent tool out there, but it's 1 hour legal, 1 hour elective. And
this contingent of selling.
Yeah, this was kind of popular in 2020 because remember, it was so crazy out there. And so people said, well, I'm not even going to list my house if I can't sell. Well, why don't you list it and sell it, or contingent on buying another home or finding a home? That worked out pretty well. Then also my favorite, Q4 2024 Market Insights, 1 hour elective, 1 hour legal. This really takes you guys on a deep dive in the dynamics of how the market works, the whole economics behind the mortgage industry, the real estate industry, the federal funds rate, and how it all plays together. And this allows you to have much wiser conversations with your buyers, with your sellers, so you can become the expert. Because You realtors, the partners with the, you partner with lenders, but us lenders never have an opportunity because you're at the front lines. You're having these conversations. If you can't become the expert and understand or explain this market data to your clients, we both lose out. They never have an opportunity to come to us, and you may lose an opportunity there. So we've got schooling. Don't be afraid to come to our office right there. Ask us. We'll do one-on-ones, but take this new year, become the expert. Okay, yeah, become the local expert. Also, we talk about calculators there. We've got tax proration calculators. We've got the temporary buy down calculators, a 1-0, the 2-1, the 3-2-1, and also there's a 1-1 buy down, which is a very cool tool. The mortgage calculator with amortization. Many of you have this, but we have it where you can actually add an extra $100 to your payment and show your clients, how much sooner you can pay off your mortgage there. Cash to close calculators, Danielle talked about. Seller net sheet calculators, we have all that with different commission rates on there. Property tax estimator. Many agents could use a refresher course in property tax estimator, and also the homestead versus non-homestead tax calculations. We can actually run you through BSA on all these samples and say, okay, if a property is non-homesteaded now, what are the taxes going to be? How are we going to collect it? How does that affect the proration of taxes back to the seller? It's very simple stuff, but if you can have this stuff with your sires and buyers, it might help you out a little bit there. And understanding the BSA tax website. Do you guys use BSA, or what are you using, Flex? It's still coming off of BSA, right?
Oh, I don't know. It's in Flash. I usually just outside of Flash.
Yeah, interesting, excellent tool, actually. And becoming the expert, tell them about the products that we've got here, Danielle.
So we've talked a lot in the last year and a half about our USA Advantage, which it takes a conventional buyer and turns them into a cash buyer. This was a very successful tool during peak parts of the market last year. Getting offers accepted, beating out multiple bids, and sometimes not being the highest price. We also have a bridge loan program, which is very attractive to sellers, so that we can tap their equity before they list their house and help them optimize their purchase and structure a smooth transaction.
And on this USA Advantage, we're going to take your buyers, anybody who's got a 680 credit score and has the ability to put 10% down on conventional loan onlys, that we will send this to underwriting and we will get that underwriting stamp of approval. If we don't make that contract date, we're going to come in and pay cash, use our cash and buy that house. It is your seller's house, but we approve you at 10% down. We want to verify that 10% down, but we can swap it to 5% down. Okay. It's a great tool. US Advantage with the bridge that we've used plenty of times. And utilizing income streams from retirement accounts. Many people don't understand, if we got a guy collected Social Security and he owns a house and he doesn't have the income because they're on a fixed income, that we can actually utilize their retirement to create income streams and let them qualify for homes.
That's extremely helpful when they have a house to sell.
And then if they are not of retirement age, but they have savings and stuff like that, we can actually use asset depletion loans, and we can utilize those investments to create income streams, to create more opportunities for you. And, and when and how to utilize the buy down. I love this stuff. I guess maybe because I'm kind of passionate about it, but I would say that probably 30% of my purchases are buy downs, and it really affects, it helps the buyers. It stops them from that interest rate fright. And Bill Tate put out a post, I put out the same post, but on a $300,000 mortgage, for example, rates were at 8% a couple months ago, right? Now they're at 7%. So on a $300,000 mortgage, dropping that interest rate by 1% is $250 a month in more affordability, which equates to $37,000 more in house that these buyers are now qualified for. So pretty interesting. And when you utilize the buy down and you can really lower those payments, it gets people off the edge to say, maybe I need to investigate a little bit more on these buy downs. And when they use seller concessions, and we're talking about inflation out there. Everybody knows the federal funds rate is 5.33% right now, and mortgage rates are a little 7 or a little bit less, okay? And the reason why those interest rates are a little bit higher than the Fed's fund rate is because the banks need to make a margin, it's a profit, okay? Interest rates will follow inflation 100% of the time. I want you to see the interest rates here. This is since 1987. And this is not working right on the on a Mac. So I am going to bypass that for now. But what I want you to do is watch out for the jobs report that comes out every Friday. This is going to be crucial to mortgage interest rates. Okay, the federal funds rate will not change for quite a while. And I'm trying to get to the last slide because I want to show you something here. Can you just get to the last slide?
Yep.
So the feds meet every 6 weeks to determine inflation and what they're going to do with the federal funds rate. When are they going to lower? Everybody's probably heard of this here. The last slide. Hold on.
Here, I gotcha.
Yeah, just go to the last slide there. So I want to show you.
Oh, this one that we.
Yes, right there. So I want you to just take a look at that right there. So the feds meet every 6 weeks. Our next meeting is January 31st. They're going to meet, they're going to look at all the reports, the inflation reports, or all the cost of this, the cost of that, the shelter. And they're going to determine if they're going to lower the federal funds rate. If they lower that federal funds rate, mortgage rates will follow. But there is the probability, and this comes from some of the top minds in the United States, economists, and also Barry Habib, whom we follow on MBS Highway. But the odds on the December, on the December 13th one, it was 0%. But the odds of them cutting rates on January 31st is about 4%. But as we go through the spring and summer and fall months, that is going to get much better where we're going to start seeing these interest rates fall. Go ahead.
So you think that the federal funds rate is going to start to trail the red inflation line?
Yep, because
it look like that by May.
Yep. Well, inflation, as you can see here, is starting to curve down. And now what do I do? Go back one. There you go. Okay, yeah. So when we look at green, here's the federal funds rates at 5.33%. That corresponds with that inflation. As that inflation in red continued to go up, the feds would put their foot on the gas pedal and continue to raise that funds rate. But now the Fed started to see inflation coming down, and for the last 4 meetings, they have just coasted. They haven't raised that interest rate because they're looking in the rearview mirror to see how the economy is doing. How's inflation? How's shelter costs? How's gas prices? How's food? How's all that? So they've been coasting. But now as we see inflation coming down, this is where we're going to start to see in the March timeframe, where we see in March, we've probably got a 35% chance of them lowering that federal funds rate. So they're going to take their foot off the gas pedal. They're coasting right now. Then they may put the brakes on that and lower that. Now, if they lower that, okay, interest rates are going to go down. And they're going to monitor that for jobs. Because now when interest rates go down, everybody wants to borrow and go out there and it stimulates growth, but they got to watch that so it doesn't get out of hand, because as soon as people go back to work or they get more money, they're going out there spending. If they spend more money, that takes supply chain off the shelf. What happens then? Prices go up, inflation goes up, and what would the Feds have to do? Put on the gas pedal and raise the rate. So they're going to be very sensitive as they want to hit the 2% goal for inflation. But that's a whole nother class. The point is, you guys are the realtors in the front line. We can actually bring you a lot of training. Don't be afraid to ask, but equip yourselves and have better conversations. Daniel?
And here's what I would say about interest rates. I see a lot of realtors post on social media about interest rates. Julie, can I ask you a question since you were just up here? Do you talk about interest rates with your clients?
No.
Okay. Why?
Because I prefer to.
Okay. Do you realize that we have homeowners right now that have more equity in their real estate than at any time in the history of America? Okay? Interest rates don't matter always. Do you realize, first-time home buyers don't know what rates were 2 or 3 years ago. They want a house now. Do you realize that we have first-time home buyers that are paying $2,000 a month or more in rent? Okay, I hate to say this, depending on your age in the room, your perception of reality about interest rates and finances are going to be skewed by what you know. Don't put blinders on. Realtors should not be quoting interest rates, in my professional opinion, at all on social media. It's federally regulated. If you say something wrong and the CFPB decides to come after you, I don't think you're going to be happy. And we've talked about this before, but your buyer's interest rate depends on about 20 factors. We've showed charts, right? It told you how many factors impact the buyer's interest rate. So if you're making a judgment on what you see at a closing statement about an interest rate and think it's the lender being mean, maybe it's your borrower not having enough money, credit score, and we can't tell you that either, right? We're not going to tell you, we're going to give you the strength of our borrowers. So don't use that as a blinder issue because our borrowers need to move. That's why they buy and sell houses. So go out there for 2024 with an optimistic outlook. Things are busier now than they were a year ago. We got super busy right after Christmas, right? We were kind of arguing who had more contracts coming in a short period of time. 24 is going to be a tremendous opportunity. We need to go after the listings and we need to work with the people that are on the fence, helping them figure out how to buy with a house to sell.
As you talked about interest rates, my recommendation, if you're going to talk interest rates with clients, talk to the ones that want to sell. Because they're the ones sitting there going, man, I got 3.5%. Why would I ever sell, man? I'm sitting on this mortgage. And that's when we bring up the term blended rate, because that'll throw them off and they'll say, what in the hell is a blended rate? You may have bragging rights on that 3.5% mortgage. But what's the interest rate on that student loan? What's the interest rate on those credit cards? Average interest rate on credit cards, 22%, right? What's the interest rate on that automobile you got? So when you have that conversation, it may open them up to say, wow, my blended rate with my car, my this, my that, maybe it's not 3.5, it's more like about 6.5, and God, rates are near 7. Well, that don't seem so bad. Let's take all that equity she talked about. Let's wipe out all your debt. Let's go marry the home and date the loan, and we'll watch the market with our pros, our partners.
One final tip. Any buyers that you had in the last year that did not find a house, this is the perfect time to get their pre-approval updated. Why? We have fresh pay stubs. We have W-2s coming out in the next 2 weeks. We can look at all of their information. We have seen some buyers, I've had move-up buyers that have made $10 more an hour in the last year alone. And if we would have looked at that pre-approval in March, their income would have looked very different than in December. We need to update that, keep them moving forward. And if they didn't buy for a reason, maybe they need to talk to a different loan officer. That is my favorite referral, is to be the second or third loan officer and give me the challenge of getting them into a home. And I'll find out what didn't work last year. Loan officers that are too scared to get somebody to the price point they need to be in. Loan officers that don't understand how to deal with people that have $2 million in the bank. You realize we got people that have Social Security checks less than $2,000 a month in income, but if they have $2 million worth of assets and they're $500,000 homeless free and clear, we can help them. Not everybody has the same skill level. Or the companies that are an underwriter that will really cater to that particular client. So second opinions, I think, are really important.
Yeah, it's funny. You just made me think of something. To make calls to those past customers you had last year that threw in the towel. Yeah. Say, hey, that $400,000 home last year in Livingston County is now $420,000. By the way, did you save $1,666 a month after payroll taxes to keep up with depreciation? So we will go out and buy one this year. Bring up that question. That's what it's costing. That's the cost of waiting. But anyway, with that, we'd love to give you training, man. We don't bite, even if you're working with another lender. We want to be that second or third opinion, or just educate you, because we love it. Actually, that's all we got.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
And I don't know how to run a Mac. All right.
Yeah, when you guys are having those conversations with sellers and your listing appointments, like, key resource is your lender of what can they do? What is they should be your solution on how they can buy that next house. So amazing, amazing information. Do we have Aaron in the house? Perfect. Trevor, come on up. We got a commercial update from Trevor.
I'll just get a quick 5 minutes. I haven't been in a meeting in a little while. So we did round out a really good year with KW commercial division, the new division here. So it was my first full year really starting last November. So it's great. We're keeping Greg busy, as you can see, and we've got Ben and Nancy on our team now as well. So there's three of us. We've got plenty of bandwidth to help anybody out that needs help. Think of us as an additional drawer in that toolbox. All we do is the commercial stuff. We don't get involved in the residential. We're never going to. In that market space, we really want to be an add-on to what you have to offer. It's your relationships with those people and getting us in front of those people that can help us bring more business to both of us. Help Julie with some listings over time. Lisa and I have a couple of things cooking right now. Rick and I have a big deal cooking right now. We got a busy 2020. As great as last year was, our 2024 is already looking even better and even stronger. And like as I was speaking about those asterisks, the first one was the big catch up. The system that they use isn't really set up well for commercial, so it took us a little while to figure out how to fix that. So it looked like there was all this stuff at the end of the year. But the other asterisks are everybody in this room. And really helping me grow my network through you so that we can capture more work, more business, more revenue, more of that relationship with all the people that we know. So we got a really great 2024 teed up already. We want to keep the energy going, and we've got a great pipeline now. We're just closing it and pay some more referral fees out. I was able to pay out 6 different referrals this past year, which is a great start, but I'd love it to be 60. So me, and I've already added Greg, and Greg is soon to be full-time with us. Ben is full-time with us now too. So there's 3 of us. So we have more bandwidth to respond quicker, to be more present with the things that you've got going on and try to be a bigger asset. And outside of this office too, we've got a handful of agents that we're doing right now as well. So there's a ton of opportunity in the commercial space. It really is tremendous. Just want to be here in any capacity we can. We can help you with those questions. What is LoopNet versus CoStar? What is Prexy? What is this? What is that? Here to be a resource and then back you up with searches and helping getting your clients, whether they're looking to acquire or need something to lease, what absolutely. So, thank you very much for a fantastic first year, and I just look forward to one.
Thank you. It's such a unique resource to have in a market center. Take advantage of that. Use it as an opportunity to talk to your clients, your everyday clients. Do you know what they own or they need commercial wise? I know for myself, my neighbor last year, they were like, hey, we actually want to buy space. He has a bunch of cars. He literally just wanted to buy a commercial space for a bunch of cars. And he had to bring it up to me. It's not like I was like, hey, by the way, do you know anyone looking for commercial? We happen to have this amazing commercial division. Have those conversations with you. That's a great touch point to call and talk to people about, because how many of your clients own businesses or know people who own businesses? My thing, I didn't even have that. So out of an office double this size at KW on the east side, there's commercial agents, but they don't team up like this. Like, this is such an amazing, unique opportunity for you guys to continue to leverage your business and be that resource, just like you refer that interior design person, just like you refer those other people, ask questions about commercial. See who's interested. All right. No, thank you yet. A few more here. Aaron, if you want to come up. Yes.
My new AI headshot up there.
Right.
Hi, everyone. I think some of you saw my email and my video yesterday. The conversation of can a agent require you to use a certain purchase agreement, especially that you're not a member of the board for. And the answer is no, they can't require it. Agents, as we know, we must present all offers that are provided to us for our listings, and it's our job to understand if you're reading. We spoke to the broker of the KW office in Lansing for this agent. Doing this, he agreed it's not correct or ethical for them to require the Lansing purchase agreement. Same thing could be said for required summary forms, right? That some agents say this is required in order to submit a listing. And the flip side of that, how firm do you want to stand on not filling out the transaction form that they are asking you, or putting everything on the Lansing PA? You can decide for your particular client, for the particular situation, how compliant you want to be or not be. If you do run into a situation where an agent is requiring you to use a certain purchase agreement that you're not comfortable with or whatever, submit the offer as you normally would. Feel free to see ethics requirement for them. And then note that we did update our purchase agreement to be more flexible for how taxes are paid in the proration section. Oh, ta-da! You can put them together. So this is the old version, the new version. The new version has, you can choose whether taxes are paid in advance or arrears or according to local custom. If you're not sure, choose your own adventure. So good. There's lots more new forms and changes that are coming up, but I wanted to get you guys this purchase agreement as soon as possible because I can't roll my eyes at that stuff. Any questions? Did everyone receive a copy of the purchase agreement that I sent out?
Send me an email, check your email.
It's in your email. I'm sure you all love it. Lovely. It's so good. Any questions on that? Please come to forms class and contracts, and we talk about things that even experienced agents aren't sure about. Suzette, can I use you as an example? Your phone call yesterday. So Suzette's been licensed for how long? 14 years. She's a really good agent. Like, she's consistent AF, she knows what she's doing. She came up with a situation that she hadn't run into in her 14 years where her sellers moved out, broke a window, which is a huge bummer. And the key exchange form notes that we've exchanged the keys and acknowledges that there's no damages, but that's not the case in this situation. She really wasn't sure how to tackle that. And those are the kinds of things that we talk about in forms class. I bring all of my stories in my almost 20 years of real estate. Maddie can repeat all of them at this point. But I also use stories that I'm getting from agents in the brokerage. So please come out to my place. Really fun. Thanks.
Right, Dustin, you want to come up? All right, we have Dustin Wilcox here, share a few things.
I think I know most of you, but you know, my name's Dustin Wilcox. I've been here for 7 years. But I recently accomplished a goal of mine to start a side business, doing land clearing, property maintenance, anything like that. So if you guys have people selling a property that needs to be cleaned up before selling, or if somebody buys a piece of property that they want to have or whatever. I have cards.
Give us examples.
So the most recent project I just did was I put in a couple little watering holes for some wildlife on somebody's property. It was dug a pond out, put tarp down, straight ports and stuff. I bought a skid steer, which I could get any attachment for, like buying stumps. You know, my insurance company would not appreciate me doing large trees close to houses. So like things that need to be done by a forester should be done by a forester. But just like brush, smaller trees, stuff like that. You know, those plots. You know, till somebody's garden if they want to get tractor wells.
Is that all outdoor or indoor?
Outdoor. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Awesome. Right, so we have,
Ties into this.
Yeah.
form also.
yes, it does. And so you guys have forms out there. I'm going to do a gift card drawing for people who fill out these forms and write their names on them. Even give me a couple vendors that you use. We want to know who's the best of the best in the Tri-County area. Who can we refer clients to? Who can we tap on as vendors when we want to do cool things here and have them be a part of? So if you know companies who are awesome, who do a good job, who are looking to expand their business and be in business with us, I would love to reach out to them and see if they want to be a part of our new preferred vendor program. So please take a few minutes, fill this out before you leave, and you can just leave it in here and I'll collect them. Family reunion is coming up. It is going to be a good one. Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins are speaking. Gary Keller, I'm like shorten my fuse is short here. Gary Keller gives state of the company, industry updates, phenomenal information. For anyone who cannot make it with us there in person, that is streamed live. Gary Keller's state of the industry and company update will be streamed live. So that is something you guys should tune into if you're at home. Great information, great talking points for you guys to take back to your clients, use for social media updates. He has charts and graphs and all that good stuff to like paint the picture of where we were at in 2023 and where we're going in 2024. Look at this list. We have 25 people headed to Vegas. So if you want to join, it is not too late. If anyone knows of another agent that is interested in attending, the MCA office has a reduced price ticket that they would be happy to transfer over into your name, and you can pay Lori for that. So connect with the MCA office if you'd like that, and a Luxor hotel room. The holiday coaching calls that I had sent out, these were recorded. I don't know if anyone wants to scan the QR code, but I can post it in Facebook too. But all of these different sessions were recorded so that you guys can listen to them, go back and listen to them. They were super valuable. And then there is the MRA book club that's going on, that's being hosted by KWRI. So if you didn't make it to ours in the market center here, you can hop on and join the KWRI version. And then they are recording those sessions too. So even if you're like, hey, I can't make this all the time, I think if you like register, you'll get an email kicked back saying, here's the recording afterwards. Don't call people who do not want to be called, and follow the TCPA regulations. Trevor already talked and we're good. You guys made it through. I made it through 12:30 on the dot. All right, hold on. I want to take a picture real quick because I have yet to do this. And there's so many people here today. I don't even know. This is not, I was a professional photographer. I cannot operate a cell phone selfie to save my life. All right. But good enough. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good month. Our next meeting is, I believe, February 13th. We only have one in February because of family reunion. So we only have one market center meeting next month. Yeah. If you did it online, thanks for the 1-2 people that did it online. I was like, maybe if I.
Were there really only?
Yeah.
Shut up. And I was, I thought